Okay, so each and every person is allergic to something, right? So that's called as what? Hypersensitivity. Whatever your immune system is there, it creates an hypersensitivity against that particular substances which are present around. And mostly the pollens, dust, or all those stuff, okay, which are there are something which causes what? Allergy. So your immune system is giving what? An exaggerated response to that particular allergens. Okay, these are called as what? The allergies. So whenever you get an allergy, common symptoms which we observe is what? Like sneezing, watery eyes, runny nose, right? All these are what? The symptoms of the allergies. Now, what is the actual cause of the allergies? So first of all, the antibodies which will be produced against this allergies are called as what? IgE type. Okay, because whenever allergens are introduced, IgE is triggered and it just releases the enzymes. And the important enzyme which acts against the allergen is called as what? Histamine. So usually doctor prescribes you what? Histamine. Okay, and sometimes if it's from the mast cells, you get what? Serotonin. So anti-allergy tablets which contains the histamine and serotonin, okay, they are usually extracted from what? The mast cells. MAST, mast. Okay, so antihistamines when you are being given, that's a basic treatment for few days you have to take, and then the allergy will be subsided. But sometimes what happens is some people, they will be having a prolonging allergies. Okay, like they have to be treated really well, and some people they don't know what are they allergic to unless and until their body gets whatever their body. Sorry, yeah, I'm audible right to all of you. Mm, I hope it's a yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so allergies means what? It's nothing but an hypersensitivity of the immune system, wherein the doctors are going to give you antihistamines or serotonins, which is produced from the mast cells. Okay, so this particular allergies which are there, they develop something which is called as what? Autoimmunity sometimes. So what is this autoimmunity? So autoimmunity is what? It's a condition in which the body's immune system mistakes its own body tissues for foreign agents and starts attacking them. Okay, so as I told you, if a transplant undergoing patient doesn't get that immunosuppressant, the autoimmunity will be what? It will take place. This autoimmunity is going to take place over there. So own cells will be attacked. Now, one more example, common example I can give you is the arthritis. Okay, usually the rheumatoid or arthritis, which the old persons will be having, right, in their knees. So rheumatoid or arthritis means what? It's a basic inflammation, wherein whatever the cells are there, they will think that this is not our thing, and they will start attacking it. So the reasons are unknown, but sometimes it is genetic only. So it will be passed on from one generation to the another generation, because they say if parents are having this arthritis problem or any other like this issues, it will be passed on to the offsprings as well. Okay, so autoimmunity is a very important factor. Okay, and it should it actually is dangerous also, because whatever medicines you take, right, sometimes it cannot control it, and means it will not take up that particular medicines also. Your immune system will be against that particular medicines. No medicines will work out also as well. For example, if you take on like if you keep on taking that particular medicine, for example, if I'm taking a dolo. Okay, so dolo basically is for the body pain, headache, fever, whatever it is, right? So I'm every time I get a few like headache or something, I'm taking this dolo. So I have been taking this for many years, maybe. So there will come a period where that dolo is ineffective for you. Okay, because your body is like it's like saying that now there is no use of taking this. You have to change that particular stuff. So in severity, what happens is if you go to the doctor, okay, and if they give you the same medicine, it will not act upon you. Why? Because already you're taking that particular thing, your body is now used to it, okay, to such an extent that it will not take it anymore. Okay, so these are what the examples of what autoimmunity. Then the next important thing which we have is the lymphoid organs. Okay, so let me just take the diagram. Yeah. So now you can see this diagram, okay, in which we have what certain lymphoid organs. Okay, so there are primary lymphoid organs as well as what secondary lymphoid organs. So in the organ where the lymphocytes are produced, they are called as what lymphoid organs. Not only produced, but there only they mature as well as proliferate, means increase in number. Okay, so what is the role of a primary lymphoid organ and the secondary lymphoid organ? So usually whatever the primary lymphoid organs are there, there the lymphocytes will be formed and they will mature. Okay, so up to maturation, here the primary lymphoid is there, they will take care. For example, thymus and bone marrow is given over here. So what does this thymus and bone marrow do? Now thymus, as you can see here, it's a bilobe structure which is located where? Near to your heart. So this is going to help you in the maturation of your T lymphocytes. So initially, whenever a baby is born, this thymus will be what? Very big, means large in size. But when the baby becomes big, okay, this thymus is going to shrink. Small, it will become small, and it will be what, like, it will not affect that much. Okay, so thymus is usually a bilobe structure located near the heart and which is going to help in the maturation of your T lymphocytes. Whereas bone marrow, which is there, it is just going to have all your blood cells, including your lymphocytes. Okay, so thymus is specifically for this T lymphocyte maturation, whereas bone marrow, it includes all the cells, whatever it is there, not only the lymphocytes, but also the lymphocytes, right? Second one is what? The secondary lymphoid organ. So secondary lymphoid organs means what? Already the what do you say, formation and maturation is there, right? So this matured lymphocytes, it has to interact with your antigens so that they will be useful in producing the antibodies. So for that purpose we have what? The secondary lymphoid organs. Okay, so they will increase in number over there so that they can be produced to interact with your antigens. So what are the organs which are involved? The spleen, the lymph nodes, as well as these things which I have written, which is over here. Okay, that is the Nalt, Balt, Galt. Okay, these are all what? Certain mucosal tissues, okay, which helps in proliferation of your matured lymphocytes. Okay, so for example, we have the spleen, which is near to your liver, right? So bean shaped structure is there. So they are going to have what? Your lymphocytes and phagocytes. Lymphocytes and phagocytes. So usually these spleen, they are going to filter your blood. So only if your spleen is affected, then only you will have what? Bloodborne diseases. Otherwise, you will be free from the bloodborne disease or bloodborne microorganisms. Okay. Then we have is the lymph nodes. The second one is the lymph nodes. So lymph nodes means everywhere throughout your body, you will be having small nodular structure. As you can see, this green structures, no nodes. These are called as lymphatic systems or the lymph nodes. Okay, so these lymph nodes, what they do is they are just going to trap the microorganisms and whatever antigens which have been invaded into your body. And when it traps the microorganisms, what it is going to do? It will activate the lymphocytes. In the same way, the last one which we have over here, these things, the tonsils, salivary glands, all those stuff is there, right? Because these are all what usually they form or they act as a lining of your respiratory, digestive, urogenital tract or whatever it is. It's a lining, right? So usually they also what they do is they will also help in the functioning of the lymphocytes more properly because this lymphocyte cells has to be present throughout your body. Okay, so that is why we have these many lymphoid organs. Okay, so primary lymphoid organs and then the secondary lymphoid organs, as well as these things, the mucosal tissues which are there, which is called as the malt, nalt, balt, and galt. Okay, so you this may come for the MCQ. Okay, so usually these are the linings of your respiratory, digestive, and urogenital tracts. Okay, right. Then what is the next one? Let's see. Yeah. So the next thing which we are going to see is the STDs, or the sexually transmitted diseases. Okay, so I'm just going to explain you few in short, and the AIDS we'll be seeing in detail. Okay, so STDs, also called as the venereal diseases, they are what? A reproductive tract infectious disease which is only transmitted sexually. Okay, so the major ones which we see is the HIV AIDS, and some of the things which I'm going to show you now. So usually sharing of your blood, the surgical instruments, right? The congenital transfer by from the mother to the fetus, all this can lead to, if it is there, okay, to the mother, then it will be transferred to the fetus, right? So all these are what? The sexually transmitted diseases. So usually the first one which you can see over here is the gonorrhea. So gonorrhea is caused by this organism, Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Okay, so this, what it does is like through the public toilets and all those stuff is there, no? From there you get this gonorrhea infection. Okay, so usually it takes 2 to 5 days to know that yes, you have been infected from this particular organism. Okay, and then when you know, by the time there will be certain pus or discharges, pain in your genital areas, or urination, that time burning sensation will be there, all those stuff you will see. Okay, so this is how it actually happens. You can see now here this structure and this structure here, the infection is there. Okay, so swollen testicles and all those stuff. Okay, then this is the first one. Next which you have is the, see, this is the second one, which is a herpes or herpes, whatever you say. Okay, so this is genital herpes which are there. They are a simpler, what do you say, a virus. Okay, so this is also a sexually transmitted diseases when it comes in contact with the genital secretions. Okay, this is how the blister like stuff has been formed. Now, this is initially your swelling of the lymph nodes. Okay, so this is one of the STDs which you can see. Then the next one over here is the syphilis. Okay, so syphilis is also a very highly infectious bacterial disease. Okay, a Palladium species is there which causes the syphilis. Okay, again, this is the same STD only, that is a sexual contact thing. But in this, there will be stages, first stage, second stage, like that. Okay, because in the first stage, your lymph nodes will be swollen. In the second stage, like this lesions, as you can see in your in the diagram, right? In this image, the rashes, the hair loss, many things will come. Okay, sometimes flu, all those stuff is also it's associated with. So this is called as what? The syphilis. This is hepatitis B. Okay, so hepatitis B virus, what it does is usually it infects your what? The liver, right? So, because of the liver infection, rest of all the functions which are associated with liver will slowly get inflamed, or it will start slowing down. This happens if there is a infected person's blood transfusion, or you can say sexual contact, saliva, tears, if it enters inside your body. Even sometimes when the person is getting tattoos done. Okay, if that particular needle which have, if it's used on an infected person and it's been used for you, even the razors which are there, by those things only the transmission of the hepatitis B takes place. Okay, and then the next one which you have is the AIDS. Okay, that is the acquired immune deficiency system, which is a syndrome which is caused by whom? The HIV. That is the human human immunodeficiency virus. So this is basically a retrovirus. Okay, and it attacks what? Your T helper cells. Helper cells. Now, T helper cells, which are there, they actually stimulate the antibodies for the production of your B cells. And you know what are the importance of B cells, right? So this retrovirus directly attacks the helper T cells. So it will it will affect the B cells production, and hence whatever your natural defense system is there, that will be weakened by this viral infection, which is the retrovirus. And what is the virus name? Human immunodeficiency virus. So by like you, without doing any test, you cannot confirm the diagnosis of the age. So you have to undergo a test which is called as what? ELISA test. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. That is the full form of the ELISA test. So this gives you a proper diagnosis that in what stage, how extent this has been affected you. Okay. So then usually this HIV which is there, that was firstly detected in African country. That is in the species of a monkey. Okay, first time this HIV was reported, and this occurs mainly due to what? The unsafe sex. Okay, everything will be normal in that person. There will be no such symptoms. Everything will be normal on the behavioral aspect also and physical aspect also. But only if you do the test only you can like know whether this has been affected or not.